Hey everybody, welcome to Carmen's DIY Garage. Hopefully this will be a short video today. Previously I made a video on replacing oxygen sensors on this 2011 Jeep Wrangler JKU, and I got 3 out of the 4 done. The driver side downstream, so bank to sensor 2, really didn't have good access for me on that particular day. Looks harder than the rest, so I said I'd make a video later, and it's later. So we're going to go under the Jeep, take a look at that sensor, get it out of there, put a new one in. There is the oxygen sensor in question, and behind it you can see a little thermal wrapped burrito. That's the the data connector for the oxygen sensor. You can see there's really not much room between the sensor and the thermal shield that's up there, the heat shield, and there's not a lot of room to get a tool up there, your standard oxygen sensor tool. You've also got this top of the lower control arm bracket on the frame that gets in the way. And then zooming out, this is the little, they call it a skid plate, but it's a skid bar that's protecting the transmission that gets in the way of getting a good throw of the ratchet. So what I'm going to do today is get this skid bar out of the way and then use a 22mm flange wrench to try to get that oxygen sensor loose. I've already put some PB Blaster on it. I ran it for maybe 15 minutes to get it to warm up a little bit, and now I've let it cool off completely. So time to go get this bar off the bottom of the Jeep. It's just a 18mm socket that you'll need on 3 bolts, and it'll come off and you can just move it out of the way. So now that I have better access to it, I'll show you what I'm going to try to do before I go do it. This 22mm flange wrench, I'll leave a link in the video description, but you can see that it's kind of like a socket that goes most of the way around it. Essentially, it's an oxygen sensor socket, but on a wrench. In this case, I mean, it's obviously used for other things, like your power steering lines, but slide it up here over your oxygen sensor nut and get it up there square. That's really important so you don't round the bolt head here. And then you just need to go, I guess it's clockwise, going up towards the Jeep to rotate it, to loosen it. But I'm assuming it is going to be seized up in there. So I'm going to pull with all my strength, but use another wrench at the end of this particular wrench to double my moment arm, and hopefully I can break it loose. Okay, well, looks like I got it broken loose. I had to pull on it with all my strength, both arms on this thing. It was in there Loctite, but just make sure that it is square and not going to round off those corners, and then get your 2 wrenches really square with each other. Give it a big continuous pull, and it did break free. So now I have to get the rest of the way out of there. So the next challenging part is this burrito, to get the connector apart. So there's a Christmas tree plug into this bracket back here. You can either, really you just need to get it free. So I've gotten it free a couple of times before, so it'll come out. But I actually ended up cutting a slot in the end of this. So there's enough slack in the wiring to kind of move it around. I got a pair of cutters up there just to cut that loose, make it easier to be able to get the connector free from the thermal wrapper there. Trying to pull it out of here one-handed. Okay, so obviously there's not a lot of room up here to make a video, but you see the connectors right there. And then the thermal booty thingy is up on the wiring towards the sensor. So this is the same as all the other sensors now, right? Just get that connector free. I'm going to do this from the front side, the forward side of the lower control arm bracket. So break that connection. It's probably going to be, if you never replaced these before, it's probably pretty sticky tight, so keep working at it. And then once you get that free, you can remove the sensor. So I'm going to go ahead and get that connection free. I probably won't be able to catch it on video because of where I'm going to be doing it from, but we'll give it a shot. With the connector disconnected, now I'll just take the thermal burrito thing off because why not? All right, now it should just be a simple matter of unthreading the sensor from the converter. Hopefully there is just enough room between the converter and the heat shield to be able to pull the sensor all the way out. All right, and here it is. It is, like all the others, it's pretty easy to get out. It's just frustrating because of the location. Once you break it free with the wrench, the rest of it is pretty standard with the rest of the sensors. So there's the old sensor, the new sensor, part number, it's the NTK 23070. Note that the connector colors are the same. They're both this gray color. You want to make sure of that. You just take the plastic cover off the threads. There's already anti-seize on it. Don't add any more. And then screw it in all the way and then torque it down. I think it's like 20 foot-pounds or something. It's not a whole lot, just enough to crush the crush washer on the sensor and get it in there so that there's no gas leakage. The more you torque it, the harder it's going to be to get out later if you ever have to. And you obviously don't want to strip threads or anything like that. You just want to get it in there so that it's sealed. So installation is basically the reverse of removing it. Thread it in there, probably get it torqued down first. Then you can slip your little thermal burrito up over your connector, mate your connectors, put the burrito in place, put the sensor back down into the bracket where it goes, and then you're done. Then just start up your vehicles. If you were checking engine codes, see if the codes are gone. If they're not, keep troubleshooting on what the problem might be. For me, this is not going to solve my engine lights for the oxygen sensors. I just wanted a complete replacing all 4 of them. I have a computer problem, so I've got to replace the computer. Subject for another video, or you can go check out my other O2 sensor video to show you how I figured all of that out. And that is it, friends. It is installed, connected. All I need to do is put that skid bar back in place, get that Guten tight, and call it a day. Hopefully the video's been helpful. You know, I learned something the other day. Something like only 2% of people that watch videos subscribe to a channel. I wonder if we can break that mold. If you wouldn't mind, take a look at the channel. Give it a subscribe if you think you might enjoy seeing other content. And just looking at this video, I don't know what's going on with the drive shaft. I have to look at that later. I'm going to ignore it for now because I'm tired of working on this thing. It just needs to work. But anyway, might be more content coming your way. You never know. Subscribe to the channel. You'll find out then. Thanks for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.